Alright, today we're going to be looking at this video about NF responding to Eminem in one of his latest albums. We're going to do a quick little review of this. The audio is just some of the sounds, but it's all laced here with words, and I don't really want to get kind of distracted. So we're just going to jump into it. Some of these I agree with, and one at the end I completely agree. So the very first hit was Eminem into NF, and this one's clear. We know this one was a for sure shot at NF. All the NF ones are really, we're guessing at that they were shots back at Eminem. But this one was obviously a for sure. This is a real one. You'll see. We'll get into this a little bit. So this one is in the Ringer, his Eminem's latest album, and he says, "Fan mailed me a copy of Mather's LP," which I've done some research. I was really confused when I first heard it. I was like, what is the Mather's LP? Mather's LP was one of Eminem's older albums, so he's talking about someone mailed him this, insinuating that he's not as good as his older stuff was, which is just a rip on Eminem. And then he says, "I mailed her back and said if I did study that, then I'll just be like everyone else in the industry, especially a recovery clone of me and effing." So he's saying that if I listen to this, I'm just going to be as bad as everyone in the industry, specifically this one person, NF. Recovery, he talks about this a little bit. He says so at shot at NF because they have been compared a little bit, and obviously Eminem doesn't enjoy that at all. But and then the recovery part of that, the therapy session, was one of NF's albums, so that's why he threw that as recovery clone. But he's saying that if he listens to this old album, he's going to be as bad. So he's saying NF isn't even close to him. He's not even as good as his older self was, because Eminem sees himself as improving and not having to go back to the old stuff that he was at. So this one talks about how NF isn't a clone. I mean, you can read it, but we all know he's not a clone. He's not that similar. If you've ever listened to NF, you know he's not. And I was talking to my friend about this and my thoughts on if NF really did shoot back at Eminem, and he's like, I don't think it is, because this is totally not NF. That isn't like him, because as it says right here, he's a Christian. He talks about his faith in his music. He talks about his own personal struggles. He doesn't shoot at anyone else. But the only thing I could think of when I thought if he takes any shots at people was in one of his older songs, Grinding. I got the lyrics right here. He talks about right here. Talks about he should be in the top 10, and then specifically right here he said, "This industry ain't nothing but a box, but I ain't gonna climb in it. If you put me in a room inside a room full of rappers, come back in 5 minutes, I'm gonna be the only one still alive with the note on my chest saying I did it." And right there, that's the only thing I can think of him taking a shot, and he doesn't even specifically take that at a certain person. But it does show that he's not going to sit around. He's going to go and he's going to be the stronger one and not just let someone roll over him. That's the only thing I can see him ever taking shots at someone. He just says, I'm going to be better than you guys. I'm not letting you guys just roll over. I'm not going to roll over you guys, basically. But he never takes a shot at anyone. This is why this is such a stretch. We're going to go through where this guy thinks NF shot back at Eminem. So it's all in the search, the newest album that dropped on July 26th. July 26th, yeah, that's right. So we're gonna look at some of these. This one from Returns, I don't agree with this one. I mean, he says there ain't no I in team, but drop the T and the A, and that makes M. I've listened to the song, I've studied the song, so it's a stretch. If we look at the lyrics right here, we see, and I've studied this song for a while because I wanted to see if this made sense to be Eminem, but push it forward like a can't ignore it. There's no I in team, but drop the T and A. Sometimes, if I'm being honest, it feels like it's only me. So it's not M, it's me. That's why he took the T and the A out to make the me. So that one is almost for sure that that's not what it is, because he literally alludes to why you drop the T and the A, and you get the M and the E, which makes me not M. So that one is I think the biggest stretch of all. But yeah, so let's keep going. He says, watching y'all helpless pretend when I plan to shoot you out of the sky like your punch lines. You're not landing, gun jamming, reaching your mouth and rip out your tongue extra. So he thinks that the gun jamming here, let's see, is a allusion to kill shot, which, I mean, just because he uses gun jamming doesn't mean. I mean, you see, it's a stretch. That one isn't as bad as the other one, honestly. The first one, it's insane. Sorry, it just is. This one is also a huge stretch, and I don't think he's just taking a shot out of the dark just because he said gun jam. I don't think he's specifically talking about it just because he said gun jam. That's quite the stretch. This one, I'm not even going to go through this one. This says the tune sounds similar. You guys can go listen to this yourself. I'm not going to put the songs in there because they're not mine. But instead the tune sounds similar. I listened to it a few times. I didn't think it was at all, so we're just gonna bypass that one. And this is just going through the lyrics of those two. So here is the one that even before I went through this all, I thought this one was a thing. Like, I heard about this guy's video and I went and listened through songs and songs over and over and over again. And this is the one that stuck out to me. This, I think, makes sense. He said, here are the symptoms, couldn't miss them, wrestle with them, then I penny flip them, bounce them back up nowhere. And all the M's just seems a little much. Like, the T and the A thing, the M there, it switches to it. He talks about me. That's really a stretch. I think these M's actually could be alluding to it. And it's only because this next line says, you should get some who you dissing. I think that's where you get the biggest, this is why it could be, because he talks about dissing and no one else, to my knowledge, has been dissing him. And with all the M's and then the dissing right there, I think that is where he throws it back at him. And that's the only one I honestly agreed with. The rest is, yeah, this rest is just outro. So double mean M as Eminem. I have heard M as Eminem, so I think that is a possibility. But I think I don't think the first one's really made sense. I only think in the song "Leave Me Alone" is the song, and I think that's the one place that he actually is trying to get back at him right there. And I honestly, this is all a huge shot in the dark, because NF, as I said, isn't that type of guy. He's never done it before. But I mean, then again, no one has ever dissed him before in one of their tracks, and this could be his way of subtly getting back at him, because honestly, he's a brilliant lyricist, and to sneak this in is insane. I think this is the one. The other ones are really a stretch. This one's still a stretch, but I think this is where he does get back at him. So yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed. If you want to check out this video, I will link it in the description. You guys can, I don't really know that much about this guy, because this is the only video I watch, but NFL music fan. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you thought it was interesting, but leave me comments if you guys think that this was real, if you think it's somewhere else in the album that I didn't even see. Yeah, just let me know.